And that's going to be useful for hitting some of those moon children that are sort of out of the way. But here's a really good reason we came here. We found our first teleporter. So we can travel from the Brotherhood of the Silent Sorrow to Albero. And where are we? Well, we can hit that to open that gate. And we can grab whatever this is. We found a bouquet of thyme. A bunch of aromatic herbs, common in the past amid the cliffs of the bronze borders. Today, however, their scarcity makes them increasingly valuable, especially for those who discern their healing abilities. It wasn't long before more and more people came to us, affected by that terrible and unknown suffering. Whole families, the old, the young, and even the newborn. We brothers of the congregation were unable to cope, and our care was not working, nor were our ointments, nor our constant prayers. We are lost, submerged in the darkness of uncertainty. So that's a healing item, huh? And there's a mea culpa shrine. So look where we are. We're right back here. We're in Alberto. No, there's no T in there. I don't call it Alberto. It's not Canada. Would you like some time?
Merciful be, penitent one. With your contribution, the work of this brotherhood carries on.
And we got the linen cloth. Now, I think we want to do something with that linen cloth. A useless rag that seems to slightly vibrate at times, emitting an unintelligible buzz. The affliction sometimes leaves its mark on mundane-looking objects, unable to reveal their miracle under its mantle of corruption. Feeble as he was, he hardly noticed that someone had sat down next to him. A gentle hand patted a white cloth on his forehead. It was a fabric of the utmost softness, which allowed light through it as if it were a sheet of paper, and was soaking his feverish sweats, providing such relief that he could not help but fall asleep. When the cloth was soaked, the nun got up and handed it to the Mother Superior, adding, "With this, we will be able to have his confession." So, if I'm right, yes, now we are going to go pray in front of this little, I don't know, what do you want to call it? Pond? Fountain? Fountain. And look, it's brought us somewhere completely new.
This place is another dream, penitent one. They believe me a saint worthy of devotions, and the only thing I granted to their prayers was the saltpeter that runs through the stark land and rises through our bodies. The punishment of the miracle for the false idol is to grant them false holiness. Do not try to obtain my name, for it is also covered in salt. Bring me anything that can be blessed, so you might crush this fate of mine and let me cross to the other side of this false dream.
Well, we happen to have something. You can clean up this linen cloth.
Behold the linen cloth that soaks the sweat of fevers, of thoughts, of dreamt sins. A tool that obtains secret and forbidden confessions, even from those who already departed to the other side of the dream. In the name of the High Wills, I bless this relic. Watch over it, for it is now pure and sacred.
And we got the Shroud of Dreamt Sins. So this is our first relic. Equip relics to change your perception of the world. Each relic possesses different unique effects, and you can equip up to 3 of them at the same time. So our first one is the Shroud of Dreamt Sins. Yellowish fabric, witness to verbal confessions. It still quivers in the face of tortured souls, allowing one to speak to those who can no longer speak. Yep, so we read that already. This is a fun one. It really doesn't do much in terms of the game, but those dead bodies that we've seen, we can now, well, we can kind of talk to them. While we have that equipped, if we go to one of those dead bodies, and there's one right over here, we're going to take the long way though. Because we're going to try to free this moonchild. And that's just what I call them. I don't think that's what they're actually called in the game. So this one has something to say. What are those little ones that seem to hide up in the ceiling amongst the ornaments of the altars? When I call them, they do not appear to pay me any mind. You're going by too fast for me to read. They are covered in ribbons that give the impression of fluttering in an invisible, imperceptible, constant wind. At times I hear them cry, at times I hear them laugh. What are you, O creatures of divine grace? Now I think he's talking about those cherubs. Alright, you have nothing new to say? Well, we will bring you some if we happen to find them. Now, we saw another dead body somewhere, didn't we? That's right, over here. So should we go and look at it? Not yet. Well, that's going to happen sometimes now. Sometimes I'll hit the B button to let go of a ladder or the wall, and I'll still end up throwing the ranged attack. I think my controller is just too sensitive. Like, I'm doing it now, but I'm not throwing it. That's because that's because I didn't have enough fervor. So I hurt myself to gain some fervor. So, creepy ghost.
Do not fear my body, through which so much lightness and darkness pass, nor my visage, which appears disfigured from behind these golden bars. Soledad by name, I was looked up on the orders of His Holiness in this cage, that the miracle then proceeded to decorate. The High Will has granted me the opportunity to help you, while my body remains a blue flame. I will wait, sleeping, until you hand the knots over to me, so that my hands of smoke may tie them, thus expanding the mysteries of your rosary.
Alright, so this ghost lady here is going to extend our rosary so we can equip more things to it. I did not find her or this area until much later in the game, when the first time I played it, so I kind of didn't know what to do with these knots of rosary. I didn't know why I wasn't getting more slots each time I got one of these knots. But we gotta come here and give this lady them. She doesn't even charge us.
Now let my fingers tie a new mystery.
Alright.
Return once you possess new rosary knots to thread. May your heart be free of sin.
I sure hope so. So, let us look at our rosary. And we now have a new slot, so we can equip the toe of limestone. Didn't want to do that. This should make dodging a little faster. Now, if you remember, the rosary lore said that people who were using the wrong rosaries would sometimes be punished, so I wonder if that's what happened to her. She was making these rosaries and she wasn't the right person to be making them. So she got punished, but the miracle decided, no, you don't deserve to be punished. Alright, this is important, but it's not important yet. You are rid of guilt. So when we die and we leave behind our guilt, sometimes we might not be able to get it back. Or sometimes it's just in a position where we don't want to take the time to get it back. So we can come here and pay to have our guilt removed. There's also other things we can do with this statue, but that will wait until later. And there's our buddy.
Bitter moments reunite us again, penitent one. An unsurmountable wall seemeth to interpose itself between our feet and our holy destinations. Will there ever be a blessing that save us from this sorrow?
Oh, I think there will. So, sure enough, this rock looks like it doesn't belong here. We can't smack it, and it kind of looks like a face, doesn't it? Well, let's keep exploring. Now, I keep hitting these things like they're Castlevania and they're going to give me stuff. They're not. But that might not always be the case. Okay, those are spikes. And those are more spikes coming out of the floor. But those won't kill us. Those will just hurt us. So I will try to time it to avoid them. And we're in like a little platforming area. And we just gotta kind of jump around. Avoid getting hurt too bad. Definitely avoid getting killed. Now hopefully I can make this jump. There we go. Okay, so we're going to need to slide, immediately turn, and jump onto the wall. Okay, so we're going to jump from this ladder, try to grab that platform over there. Made it. Okay, I'm going to want to be careful here. Okay, come on, we can make it. So I don't want to be too high up on the ladder here, because if I jump, I'm just going to hit the ceiling. And slide, and I think we made it. Sure looks like we did. And what is our reward for that? It's the metatarsus of Ryosuke the Traveler. Did I pronounce that right? I did not pronounce it right. Let's just be honest. I did not pronounce anything right. The metatarsus of Ryosuke the Traveler. Almost no details of his background are known, but those who crossed his path claimed later that Ryosuke carried a small, strange, luminous plate that emitted a faint voice. So he was walking around with something weird. And, well, that lowers that ladder. And we can see light coming in through here. If we whack it, well, we're on the other side.
I'm not worthy of thine infinite compassion. Blessed are those of us who find it.
You're very welcome.
I will pray for thee and thank the Master for his holy encounter. Now my feet are marching towards holy prohibitions. How can a simple pilgrim advance through such fortification?
Oh, I'm sure you'll figure it out.
Eternal Father, O Master of pilgrims, how arduous are your upcoming trials?
Very. Okay. So, you saw that big candle over here. Let's go check it out. Nothing happened. So, there's nothing going on yet. But there's a weird blue candle over here. So why don't we leave a weird blue marker? And we are now back at the beginning of the game. Thankfully that boss enemy, mini-boss, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, is not there. We do not have the key yet. So actually, let's mark this area down. Do we have a key? What would be a good marker to put here? Now let's just put the question mark. Question mark is simple. Hey buddy, I don't think you have anything new to say. But coming this way does give us a chance to go back down here. Because this dead body has something to say. I hear footsteps above me, beyond the roots. I hear irregular, raspy breathing from behind the rock. I hear the worms nearby slithering towards me. So I don't know what that means. But we did find him near Quicksilver, and this sure looks like something important, doesn't it? If it is something important, I did not figure it out the first time I went through this game. Alright, swing. Alright, so if we go in here, the slime monsters are going to show up. But I don't mind the slime monsters, not really. They give us tears. So there's a goodie. We'll mark this area with a question mark. Ah, I missed. Well, we haven't used our prayer in a while, so let's use it again. I often forget that we even have those prayers. We're just so capable of taking care of the enemies without them. Alright, so we could loop back around down here. We can even use our teleporter to get here faster. That might be worthwhile, actually. Finish exploring down here. Or we can go check out what's over here. We couldn't check out what was down here yet. We have nothing for you. But let's go over here. Because there's a goodie. The phalanx of Brannon the Gravedigger. Brannon Joshua Mullins dug the graves of hundreds through his life, whether family, friend, or foe. When the chaos arose, there was no one left to return the favor. Okay, so this is the wasteland of buried churches. No, let's turn around. Let's go and drop off the bones. Let's use the teleporter, and we'll go back to, what is that? Yeah, I would call it Jonto, but that's not right. We could also see the giant creepy guy and ask him to power up our vessels, our flasks, but we're not going to do that just yet.
The bones thank you for your help, O virtuous penitent one.
You're welcome.
Bring the bones before me, and we will uncover the truth that silent.
Sometimes he'll give us rewards for bringing these bones back. I'm not quite sure how many we have to bring him before we start getting stuff. So let's go back here. We might as well save, so if anything happens, I'll restore here instead of all the way back up here. I think we're getting better at dealing with these enemies. So there is something in the middle of this chasm, but we can't quite get to it yet. See, I see that J and I want to pronounce it like John Doe, but that's not it. It's more like an H sound? Hondo? Wando? Something like that? I'm bad at words. We missed that. I'll have to go back and check it out. Now, I know what's over here. And I didn't want to deal with it the first time we came through here. But we'll deal with it now. You just bonk your head. We can probably get 4 hits in before he turns around. Now you. Okay. That will kill us if we go down there, so we are not going to go down there. We do not have what we need, but we will mark it with a question mark so that we know to come back. Now, what happened here? We opened up the door, we went in there, we opened the treasure chest. Did I just not go far enough in? Guess so. Okay. So it looks like we want to head over this way. Look more around there. Can I get... no, we don't want to go this way. I want to go up here. Ouch. Creepy angel thing. Now, it may not seem like there's a lot of places to spend our money. We might as well call it money. I mean, it's tears, but it's the same idea. It may not seem like there's a lot of places, but oh, that's not the case. If we want to get every little goodie that we can find in this game, we are going to need lots of cash. Ah, there we go. Is this our first execution? I believe so. So not only did we kill the enemy, I think we got more tears for it. So if you can pull off an execution, go for it. Some of the executions are pretty gnarly looking too, so I'll try to show them off when I can. So there's that big bell. And one of the chains on that big bell is missing. Okay, do not go down there. That will kill you. I had to figure that out the hard way. Okay. There's a big guy in a helmet. But we're pretty good at handling them. We know what to do. They're kind of dummies. Just bonk on the head. Come on, you. Yeah, I don't know if it's the sensitivity of my controller or if it's something my thumb is doing when I, like, press over it. Oh, he knocked us down. That jerk. So we'll have to go over there and get our guilt fragment. Accumulation of guilt. When the penitent one dies, erring in his penance, a guilt fragment is anchored in the world. The weight of guilt accumulates and reduces the gain of fervor in the tears of atonement, as well as the maximum fervor. Collect guilt fragments to recover, or find someone who can ease your burden. Well, we saw those statues earlier that could do that. We could travel over to that statue if we wanted to, but it's really not that far to go and get our guilt fragment back. So we just drop down here. Now, that jerk in the bell helmet, that is what it is, isn't it? It's a bell helmet. So that jerk in the bell helmet knocked us off the wall. We got to avoid that happening again. So maybe what we'll do is we'll wait for him to come back. And that should do it. There's two of them. Two of these fools bonking their heads. Ouch. And bonking me, too. No, I didn't want to do that. I want to do that. And here we find the vertebra of Lindiquist the Forger. Whenever a bell rings in Custodia, I'll figure out how to pronounce that at some point. Its sound owes its existence to Lindiquist. This forger never saw his bizarre magnum opus called Hondo completed? Haciendo? I don't know. I'm bad enough at English. Stop throwing Latin and Spanish and Italian and... Oh, careful now. So that bell ringer down there is going to hurt us. Someone tells me I'm pronouncing Custodia correctly. I'm going to take their word for it. Oh, careful now. Actually, we should probably not be careful. We should probably rush. Take you out. Oh, we got a bouquet of rosemary. Rosemary, thyme. I feel like I'm in cooking school. A bunch of aromatic herbs, common not long ago, along the forest of the Holy Trail. Today, however, their sacristy, not sacrecy, because there's less of them. Scarcity, there we go, makes them increasingly valuable, especially for those who discern their healing abilities. The Confessions of Tirso Part 5. Oh, that was the guy back up in the tower. Congregation members witnessed to the phenomenon, watched in astonishment and fear, except for one of our sisters who knelt beside me, and without fear of contagion, kissed one of the terrible swords. Don't do that! Kissed one of the terrible sores that the affected had caused on the young man, and the wound began to close. The brothers fell to their knees amidst tears and prayers. Hey, it may have worked. That still doesn't make it a good idea. Okay, now we can't reach that. So we might have to find another way to get over there. Okay. This looks like a good place to get killed a few times. Like that. Come on. So I saw a bell guy down here. I didn't want to do that. That's fine, though. He'll come running back. He'll bonk his head. Okay, you I do not like. You are going to be trouble. Please grab a ladder. Thank you. Gotcha. Oh. Okay. We can get this. Not like that. Got him. 5 of 38. So let's just smash this statue. Nothing bad will happen. Okay, we're going to take out this creepy angel face. But we're not done exploring over here. This is a little platforming area. I remember this. I don't remember it being that bad either. But let's find out what happens. Angel. Or cherub. Whichever you prefer. Moonchild. And let's grab that. Thank you. The Heart of the Holy Purge. Equipped a sword heart in the Mea Culpa to alter its properties. They grant powerful upgrades, but this comes at a price. Reset appear you to access the sword's core and insert a different heart. So we got the Heart of the Holy Purge. A sword core blessed with fervent prayers can be asserted into the Mea Culpa, increases the tears of atonement reaped, but prevents the use of bile flasks. The legend of the Mea Culpa, the Sword of Guilt. It is said that this stone statue, covered with petals, was once a young woman who, tormented by a deep feeling of guilt, struck her chest with a figure of our Father, asking him to be punished. The miracle manifests itself in the figure of the Father, emerging from her a wide, long edge, a great rooted sword, which pierced her guilty heart to later transform her body into stone. That sword was called Mea Culpa, an allusion to the last words of the young woman. And we saw that. That was the opening cutscene to the game. So we could go up here, or we could go down here. We're going to go down here. And we find more goodies. And more Quicksilver. So now we got 2 of them. And we are in a new area. I don't know. Do I want to go through this area? Not yet. Let's save. Now, yeah, that's going to respawn every enemy. But we get our flasks back. And if we wanted to, we could have equipped the other heart. And we would have got more money from killing these enemies. Now, I'm going to try to get this. And we got it. So we got 6 of 38. That's a what? Around a... It's around a 5th? No. It's almost a 6th. Alright, and now we never have to go through that platforming again. Unless we want to. I do not want to. I want to go see what trouble we caused by knocking down all those statues. All those statues that were clearly tied to chains, that were clearly holding up that bell. So yeah, that bell, no more chains on it. Actually see one of the chains swinging over there. Swinging a chain, swinging a chain. And down it goes. And down we go.